Thank you everyone for having me here today. So I'm Chris Hwang, co-founder of the Golden Duck. And for those of you who know, we do salted egg snacks. We got, I would say, a little bit famous for doing that. And recently we launched some of our new products, which I want to give to you guys as gifts. So if you have them with you, could you just lift them up? Seal it, please. Make sure it's sealed. Just give it a good shake, because we like to enjoy our snacks like that, okay? Nice. Okay, pop it open. I like to have a bit of fun during my presentations. Please enjoy it with me. All right? So, I mean, why am I here today? I want to share a story with you guys. And it's titled Let Life Surprise You. You just might like it. It's a story that goes back to when I was younger, growing up, and had a few dreams that felt crushed. So take this back to when I was 18, and I had a few goals. I had a lot of goals, and I wanted to be one of 5 different things. I wanted to be a fund manager. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lot of things. I even forgot some of the things I wanted to be. But rewind that a little bit, and 16, which is probably closer to where you guys are, some of you remember this feeling of commitment, of passion, when you really want to just dive really deep into something. And I only had one goal when I was 16, and that was to be the best bowler I ever could have been. So long before I entered the world of business, and I want to give you guys a talk that you can't find on Google, I was a bowler. I was in the national team, and I really loved what I did. I would bowl 5 to 10 times a week. You ask me how, sometimes I bowled twice a day. I loved it. And this story starts at the pinnacle of my bowling career when I was up in the Indonesian Open Championships in the finals against Alex Liu, who was the captain of the Malaysia team. So picture this, 16-year-old me, Malaysian team captain, and the standards are just about that far apart. This guy's amazing, and I'm just going to fast forward to the last frame of this championship for me. And this is where it all fell apart. So in bowling, you have what you call the pocket. It's that beautiful little space right between the first 2 pins up in the front. And if you hit that with a hook ball, like that, that's actually a video of me the same year. Kind of pretty, right? Yeah, it's supposed to sweep all the pins really nicely to the back, just like that. So that was me, 16-year-old me, stepping up to the lanes. This is not the actual shot. I'm just telling the story. So 16-year-old me stepping up to the lanes. There's about 50 lanes in the bowling alley, really big, probably bigger than anything we have right now in Singapore. And I step up, and everybody is completely pin drop silent. And they're waiting for me to make my shot, and that pressure is just enormous. And I stand up, and I go up there, and I make it. And it's a wonderful strike just like that. I do it again and again. And I think, you know what? I've got a chance. I've got a shot here, because previously I was 9 pins down on the 9th frame. Now, after I've gotten a couple of strikes in the 10th, I've got a shot at this championship, you know? I think I've done respectably well. And I know Alex Liu is going to be a big opponent for me. And in the 10th frame, you can do a few things. You can strike, obviously, that helps if you're in bowling. A strike spare or a spare strike will give you 20 pins. So right now, all Alex had to do was put a spare strike or a strike spare. He steps up, and this lefty goes right down the lane, chucks the ball down, and I watch, and it misses. He missed. From the moment the ball left his hands, I knew I had a shot, because all day he's been pulling great pocket shots, putting the ball where he needs to put it, and once that game he missed. But I watched that ball go down the lane and went to the other side of the pocket, which we call the cross pocket, where normally bad things happen. Splits, random pins, things you don't want to see. And no, that was my moment where everything was stolen from me, because he pulled it, he missed, and he struck. Like any good professional, he picked up the spare and he beat me. That man, remember 20 pins means he beat me by exactly 1 pin. And in bowling, in sports, just like in life, very often we don't get a second chance at what we want. That was it. Tournament over. Which left me feeling a little bit confused, lost, and as a kid, 16 years old, growing up, I'm wondering, what does this mean for me? What it meant for my bowling career, which remember at the time was the one thing I really wanted to live for, was that it was close to over. In the moment, what it actually meant that very day was there was a lot of prize money that could have been mine, that wasn't. I would have loved that, but that's not really the big deal because as growing up, you don't really find ways to spend money like that. But what really mattered to me was I didn't get the chance to go for the Asian Games next year or the SEA Games the year after that. I ended this competition at the top 100 in Asia, which at 16 sounds pretty cool, and it was. But if I had won, there was no way they would not have put me for these big competitions coming right up. So it felt stolen. It felt like something had been robbed, like something that was not fair, not meant to happen to me, happened from a cross pocket. What the hell? I want to tell you guys about this story and what it means to have let me get to where I am today. Let go of the old to begin with the new. And this concept was brought to me by this very story because as I look back on my life, there's so many things that could have happened, but if that one pin didn't fall, if I had won that game, if I had gone on to be the bowler that I wanted to be, if there wasn't this potential that was led by the exit of something that I loved, I would not have had the chance to explore. My dreams started opening up. My horizon started opening up. When I was 18, I wanted to be so many more things because I had this space from what I could have become. And it grew from there. It grew. Later, I started my first business the year after that. I've started 4 more since then, lots of failures, but this space let me become the person I am today. And now, I want you to remember what that means for you in each of your lives as you go through the passage of life and it throws you a curveball and you think it's kind of crap, right? Let go of it because you never know where life is going to take you. Golden Duck now has grown tremendously. We have an amazing team. They inspire me every single day. And 200 people, 3 years, 5 countries and growing. We have 4 products. You guys have just tasted some of the new ones. We have 2 more launching next week. Look out for it. It's going to be hot. And we're not done. But growing up, I never imagined I was going to live my life selling snacks. I kind of like it. Let life surprise you. You just might enjoy it. Thank you.